This is a summary of the movie The Rope. This is a psychological thriller based on a true story. The movie is shot in real time with no cuts, no edits. It takes place in 1948. Two best friends, James and John, who are also colleagues in the same New York City law firm, invite 8 people over to their apartment for a dinner party. They're hosting a party to celebrate the engagement of their other 2 friends, Eric and Barbara. Now, these 2 friends, James and John, are serial killers. They've already killed 7 people and they've chosen this 8th victim. So they drug the food and the drinks that they serve to their guests, and one by one, all the guests become intoxicated and pass out. They kill 3 of the guests, but the rest of them, including the fiancé, somehow survive. They wake up in the morning after, and they find themselves tied up with rope in various parts of the apartment. As the story progresses, we learn that these 2 psychopaths have a particular fetish for rope. They only target attractive women, and so now they proceed to psychologically torture their captives, but in a very methodical way. First, they release the fiancé because they don't want any loose ends, and then they start to systematically interrogate each of the victims, trying to figure out which one of them is actually a police informant. They suspect that someone has been informing the police about their activities, and they want to figure out who it was, and so they proceed to psychologically torture these people, doing things like making them undress and dress up as women and as children, and it is all this bizarre charade to try to break these people and to try to figure out who the informant is. Meanwhile, the fiancé goes downstairs to get some help, but he's unsuccessful, and so he comes back upstairs and he tries to take matters into his own hands. He frees one of the captives, and then he hides with her in the bathroom. The 2 killers find them in the bathroom, and then they proceed to execute both of them. And at this point, there's only one captive left, and she's really the only one who hasn't done anything to incriminate herself. She hasn't confessed to being an informant, but they still kill her too. In the end, the police do show up, and they find all 3 of the bodies, but there's no indication that they're ever able to catch these guys. The movie ends with the 2 killers walking away from the scene of the crime and they laughing. So the basic plot of this movie is that these 2 gay lovers, who are also serial killers, drug and torture several party guests and then kill 3 of them. There's a couple of themes that run through the movie. For example, there's the theme of paranoia. These guys are so paranoid that they think that someone has been informing the police about their activities, and so they go to extreme lengths to try to figure out who the informant is. There's also the theme of sadism. These guys get great pleasure out of inflicting pain on others, and there's a scene in the movie where one of the captives says something along the lines of, "Well, if you're gonna kill me, just kill me. I don't want you to torture me anymore." And one of the killers responds by saying, "Well, why would I want to do that? You're not going to die. You're going to live in pain for the rest of your life." Now, another interesting aspect of the movie is that it's shot in real time, with no cuts, no edits, and this is meant to be as immersive as possible. You really feel like you're right there in the apartment with these people, and because it's shot in real time, you also feel the passage of time. It really feels like 2.5 hours. And the reason they did this is because they wanted to mimic the experience of being trapped in a nightmare. And that's really what this is. A nightmare that these people can't wake up from. Now it might seem a bit odd that this movie is based on a true story, because it really does seem plausible that these 2 guys could go on a killing spree like this and then just get away with it. But it's true. These 2 guys did kill several people in New York City in the 1940s. Their names were actually Leopold and Loeb, and they were caught, but despite the evidence against them, they were never convicted. The movie does take some creative liberties with the story, but the basic plot is true. I'm going to give the movie a 9 out of 10. The acting is phenomenal, especially considering that this is a low-budget independent film. The cinematography is excellent. The sound design is great. And it really is a masterclass in building suspense. If you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend it.